Hello and welcome. My name is Miss Sasha. I'm a visual artist.
And I am Kelsey, a movement artist.
Today we're going to explore ways to conserve water or water conservation. This video is part of the Acadiana Center for the Arts online series, Virtual Art Studio, where teaching artists present lessons in visual arts, dance, music, and more, and you can enjoy them from anywhere. Let's talk about how we can conserve water in our outside space and in our garden. We'll then create our very own garden or vegetable garden drawing, and my friend Miss Kelsey will help us move through these ideas. What is water conservation? Well, water conservation is the practice of using water more efficiently, and it's also to reduce unnecessary water usage. Let's break that down. Here's an example. Do you have any drippy pipes? Do you think this is conserving water or wasting water? Simple question. Well, let's break that down. How could we fix this problem? Can we conserve water that we're actually wasting? Well, let's talk about it. Drippy pipes or faucets is not really conserving water, it's wasting water. But if we could conserve water that we're wasting, like putting a bucket underneath the drip, then we can collect that water and use that water to water our garden or other plants that we have around the house. We could also call a plumber to fix that drip. That would be simple, right? We could use maybe our hose. If it has a drip too, you could replace the dripping parts or get a new hose. Seems simple, right? The earth is something that we all have in common. How can we protect and conserve our water supply? What are some simple ways of conserving water in our garden and in our yard? Well, we've already talked about a few of them, like fixing our drippy taps or calling a plumber, replacing the worn washers and the rusty parts. Watering plants in the early morning or the evening to prevent evaporation. This is a great idea because in the morning it's much cooler, and in the evening it's also much cooler. If you water your plants in the middle of the day, then the water just evaporates quickly and you've kind of wasted all the water that you've just used to water your garden. So that's a simple one we can all do. You can water onto the soil of your plants as opposed to on the tops of the plants. That way the water gets into the roots a lot quicker. And this one's really easy. You can set a timer. Use your phone. Hey Siri, let's set a timer for 15 minutes. Boom, you've got it. You can't forget that at all. Using a watering can rather than a sprinkler system, that does work. Kind of hard to water your lawn with a watering can, which is why people use a hose or a sprinkler, right? You can install a backyard rain barrel to collect your water. And this is just the water that comes from the roof into your gutters, flows down your downspout and into a big barrel. The barrel catches all the rainwater and it stores it there. So whenever your garden is dry and your vegetables need a little bit of watering, you can use the water from your water rain barrel that you've collected from your roof. You waste no water at all. You can also leave out open containers to collect rain to use for watering plants. So today we're going to draw a little garden. We're going to talk about some different lines, some different shapes, and we're going to create this simple little picture. So the supplies that you're going to need today is going to be one piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, it doesn't matter, a piece of copy paper, and an assortment of crayons. Now is a great time to go gather your supplies. You can stop your video and start it when you're ready. Great, did you get all your supplies? Let's get started on drawing our little vegetable garden. We're going to start with the color black. We're going to draw everything with black, almost like a color book page. And we're going to make our first line as a horizon line. That's where the sky meets the earth. Okay, so if you were looking in a room, it would be where the wall would meet the floor. That would be the line that you would draw in the middle. Sometimes where the mountains meet the river, that would be your horizon line. And so that line goes across your paper, all right? So find the very middle. Sometimes I use my hands for measurement, right? Look, like this, and go right across the center. Okay. You got it? That's an easy line. That's a straight line. Okay. We're going to start with our carrot. All of these vegetables grow under the ground. So the farmer would have to come and harvest his little vegetables from under the ground, right? Farmers are very appreciative of water conservation because without water, they can't water their garden, and neither can you. So here's our little carrot. He's going to be in the middle. He's tall. Okay? So it's a little curved line at the top. Right? If you made it too small, you can always make it a little bit bigger. No wrong answers. And make a little dot at the bottom. We're going to do 2 straight diagonal lines to complete our little carrot. All the way to the bottom. Got it? It's almost a triangle with a curved top, a little hump on the top. Let's put some little horizontal straight lines in our carrot to show a little bit of texture. What is texture? Do you know what texture is? It's kind of the way something feels, right? My shirt feels a lot different from this paper, right? My shirt might feel soft. This might feel cool. Maybe the wall feels rough, right? Your hair might feel smooth. So our carrots have a texture, but the only way for us to show texture is by drawing lines or making curved, kind of drawing the texture on there. But it doesn't feel any different, it just looks different, right? Okay, so here's my little carrot. We're not coloring in the carrot yet. All right? Okay, so let's move on to making our other vegetable bottoms, and then we'll go ahead and add their little tops as if they've grown out of the ground, right? All right, this is a little radish over here. His shape is a little bit more circular, so we want to fill our space. We don't want a giant radish, and we don't want a tiny little radish, just the perfect size radish, okay? Look, you can make a nice circle to fill your space, and then the radish is kind of curved up to the top to where the soil line ends. So watch. Like that. Okay? And the radish has this funny little curved triangle at the bottom. So when you actually do buy radishes in the grocery store, they still have that little bottom on there. And that's where their little angled roots come out from. So watch. Like that. And the radish also has a little bit of texture. So they're a little bit shorter lines than, say, your carrot. Watch. Maybe little dashed lines. And then some down here. We'll draw the roots in just a minute. Okay. You can also have a little bit more wiggly lines, twisted lines that kind of go up to the soil. And then our little vegetable tops will come out there in just a minute. So unlike this little carrot, this radish has little twisted or little angled roots that come out from the bottom here. So it's almost like little tiny Y's and little tiny V's that causes those angles, right? So look, a little Y and then a tiny little V. So they almost have like small, medium, and large roots. So look, here's my large, here's my medium, and here's my small. Okay, large, medium, small. You can add as many as you want. Don't color in your radish yet though. Okay, got a little radish? Okay, does anybody know what this is? We use this a lot in cooking. Maybe this is more in salads. You eat carrots any old way you want, but the garlic is used as almost like a seasoning for a lot of different foods. So this is our garlic. It's got kind of a silly shape, right? So we need to build this strange little garlic shape. And inside this little garlic, if you peel off of its little layers, there's a bunch of little garlic pods in there. And so sometimes a recipe will say, use 3 pieces of garlic. And so you take 3 out. There might be 10 or 15 in there. I don't know. So here's our little garlic. So it kind of goes above the ground. Let's do a little curved line above the ground. Got it? Okay. And then it could almost be heart-shaped. If you wanted to do a little heart, you could do a little heart-shaped garlic, right? And then we can connect it, look. like that. And then it's got a little bit of texture too. We can just turn this into a little garlic, right? A little garlic. So if you're looking at my little pictures here, it's a little garden that maybe some other kids drew. And in their picture, they had a lot more vegetables in their garden, a lot more root vegetables. So they added potatoes, carrots, garlic, radishes, and little onions. See that? This one is built all out of either construction paper or felt. So you can build your garden anywhere. Here's your little watering can that we talked about was super useful for watering your garden. This one has tons of vegetables. So I was just using these as like my inspiration for our little tiny garden. And also to show you that you can add little bugs and insects or whatever you want to your garden. So you can take what we're learning today and kind of expand on your ideas for your garden, okay? So let's add the little angled roots to our garlic, okay? It's kind of like the radish. You can even do these maybe even a little bit more twisted if you want. Watch. Right, you can do small, medium, and large as well. Got it? How's everybody doing? Good. All right, let's go ahead and add the tops. This is what the farmer or what you or I would see coming out the top of the garden. This is kind of what's exciting, right? You plant all these little seeds and then you run outside and you check and you're like, oh, nothing yet, nothing yet. And then one day you see a little something coming out the tippy top and you get super excited, right? You're doing something right if you start to see the greens coming out. Because if you would overwater or underwater, they could be too dry, too wet. It's hard gardening. Here we go. These are going to be tall, straight to start. Watch. You go straight. Let's do 3. That's coming out the tippy top of the garlic. 3 straight lines. And then we're going to add curved lines to them. Watch. It's okay if they run into another one because we're going to color it all in. Got it? Great. The carrot is a little bit more bumpy or curved lines that kind of connect to each other because one curved line would be like a rainbow. A bunch of curved lines together could be a cloud or a flower or in this case, the top of our carrot, okay? So let's go tall, straight lines. We'll do 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go bump, 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 or hump, 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 curve, curve, curve. Call it different things in different classes, right? So watch. Bump, bump, curve, curve, curve. Same on this side. And one more. If you can't fit them, it's okay. Just pretend like you've got them in there because in the garden, they're going to overlap each other. So that it happens, right? So when you draw it, you can't just draw it where you can see everything. There's also overlapping in our artwork too. Okay. Got it? I'll give you a little second to get all your humps in. Perfect. All right. So this one is a little bit more maybe curvy, maybe a little, we can make these a little bit more twisted, right? So let's just do 3 again. More curved. 1, 2, and 3. So this could be a little wavy, a little twisted, however you want, right? Look, a little twisty, a little wavy. Okay, perfect. Now it's time to color some things in. I'll give you a little minute. once you're all ready, go ahead and get your orange crayon. We'll start with the carrot, and also get your red crayon. We're going to add a little bit of shadowing and shading to our carrot so that it looks a little bit more curved, right? So I went over my little straight lines with a little bit of red, and maybe on the edge to make it look like it had a shadow. Go ahead and add all of that to your carrot. I know carrots are orange, we're just adding something fancy to it. All right, then you can just kind of color in your carrot. And the red's gonna shine through. It might blend a little bit with your black. We definitely want it to blend with the red. The orange is going to go right over the red and the black because the orange is lighter than both of those colors, so it won't go away. All right? Cool. Let's go ahead and grab our purple and red this time. The purple's darker than the red, so we'll start with that. We'll do our little radish. So we'll add a little bit of purple on the edge, maybe a little purple to the lines. Maybe a little purple on the side like we did to the red, to the carrot, right? Got it? And then fill it in with the red. The purple will shine through because it's darker than the red. How's that? Pretty good. And the garlic is super simple because the garlic's mostly white. So all I did was take the yellow and kind of add a little bit of yellow to the garlic. Okay? And that's it for the old garlic. So since we still have the yellow, we'll add a little bit of yellow to the center of our twisted radish tops. Like this. And if you have a light green, you can finish coloring it in with light green, but if all you have is dark green, that's fine. We just want to show some different shades of green. Perfect. This picture looks different from that picture, and yours should look a little bit different from mine too. So you can continue on with your green for your carrot. You can use 2 greens if you want. You can stick with 1 green. That's up to you. Sometimes there's not a lot of greens in your color box, so there we go. And the way I did this one was I added just a little bit of blue. Blue and green are friends on the color wheel. So I just put a little blue on the edge. Like that, and then I filled it in with the green. How's that? Pretty good? Awesome. So my background, my soil I did with the brown, and you can I use the side of my crayon for this. If you don't have a broken crayon or you don't want to break your crayons and peel it, you can just kind of squiggle it in. You can have little seeds and minerals and nutrients all in your soil. Right? Eventually you could add little insects, maybe little ants and worms and grubs that tunnel their way through our soil to make it all nice and loose. And you can just go ahead and do the same thing for your sky with the blue. It pretty much goes over all of these other colors. You won't lose it. You could add grass down there if you wanted, although I don't know, the farmers like the grass in their garden. So here we go. Here's our little garden. And then you could get your little watering can, water your garden, conserve your water, and voila, there is your little garden. Thank you.
Hello, Miss Kelsey here, and we're going to try in real time to grow just like those plants we're drawing. So you should be sitting in your chair like so, and we're going to imagine that the chair, your seat right here, is that horizontal soil line. So everything that grows above the soil is green and fabulous. And those vegetables and roots are going to happen under this horizontal soil line. So we're going to start like this, my bottom in my chair, and I'm going to just be a tiny little seed like this. Are you a seed? Now, Miss Sasha talked about some of the things those seeds might need to grow. What do you think? What do I need to grow? Yeah, maybe some water. So some water might come down on us. Maybe the sun is shining bright. And what happens first? Do we grow leaves? No, we need roots. We've got to go down first. So let's see those roots start to spread out below the soil like this. Do you have roots? Very nice. And then the leaves will start to reach through like this. You'll get a little sprout first. This is how we know it's working. And then they'll slowly grow all the way, reaching to the sunshine. Very nice. Let's take it back to Seedland. Now, let's get a little more specific. How about that carrot? Do you think it goes down or up first? Sideways? Probably not. Definitely down. It's reaching into the soil to gather all those nutrients and delicious things we find in the dirt, like worms. Do not eat. Don't recommend. Now, let's show those legs growing down below the soil line to make our carrot. Carrot. And then those leaves grow really tall and they're gathering the sun, feeding that carrot so it can grow really big and strong. Nice job, carrot friends. Now, what plant should we try next? Radish? Garlic? I personally like the radish. So let's go into Seedland. Super tiny and small, and remember we're getting water and sunshine. And we grow down first. So my legs are spreading out. I think the radish gets roots before it grows into its perfect little circle. So my roots are going to spread out first. And then I'm going to make my radish. And then those leaves are reaching to the sunshine. Maybe they're twisting and unfurling as they grow. Please don't move. Wow, look at that fabulous radish garden. Nice job, guys. All right, guys. Now, just like Miss Sasha was talking about those leaves and roots making different kinds of shapes, we're going to make those shapes with our bodies. In movement art, we like to use our bodies to make shapes. Now, when you hear shapes, you might think, oh, a circle. And that is a shape. Triangle? Sure, but we're making up shapes of our own brain. The first shape we're going to talk about is a straight shape. What do you think a straight shape looks like? Yeah, totally. Straight shape. Can you think of another straight shape? Yes, great. This is mine. This is another straight shape. Stand tall. Can you think of one more straight shape? Nice job. My next shape is a curved shape. Can you say curved shape? Yes, curve one finger, hand, arm, other arm. Curve your spine, curve one leg. This is a curved shape. See all the curves in my body? Nice. Can I see your curved shape? Ready, go. Yes, nice curved shapes, friends. My next shape is a twisted shape. Can you say twisted shape? Yes, twist your fingers. Arms, legs, spine, a twisted shape. Stand tall. Great. Can you show me your very own twisted shape? Wow, look how twisted you are. Nice job. Can you think of another? Twisted shape. Very nice. And one more. Stand tall. Great job. And there's one more type of shape that we talked about. This we saw a lot in those roots. They're kind of like darting different ways, trying to find the path of least resistance. So they make lots of angles. What's an angle? It's a point with two lines sticking out like this. An angle, bigger angle. Small angle, bigger angle. Small angle, bigger, small, bigger. So when I make an angled shape, everybody say angled shape. Yes, I'm putting lots of angles in my body like this. Don't I look like roots? I like to call angled shapes robot shapes because sometimes they look like this. Can you show me your very own angled shape? Yes, nice angled shape. Make another. Stand tall. Great. Let's review. Everyone show me your straight shape. Curved shape. Twisted shape. Angled shape. Stand tall. Nice. Do you think that you saw some of those shapes in your garden drawing? Yes, definitely. Could you give me an example? Yes, those angled shapes were in the roots. Yes, those twisted shapes do make leaves. And they love to curve towards the sun. Great job, guys.
Today was great. We learned about taking care of our water supply in our garden and in our yard. This is called water conservation. We talked about how water conservation helps to preserve natural resources such as water for our future. We moved through some ideas with Miss Kelsey. We came up with some simple water conservation solutions that everyone can do and created our very own vegetable garden. Thanks for creating with us today. Be sure to come back next week for our new virtual art studio.